Hello, everybody. It's Margaret with Forward Kind Heart. I am a shamanic counselor as well as I do energy healing. I love helping people get unstuck and really transforming their lives, embracing their gifts, finding their superpowers, and really healing themselves from the heart so that they can live, a heart-centered life. I love delving into dreams and exploring all that rich symbolism. And really, our dreams can be a catalyst to help us in our waking life. We often forget that. A lot of times we just think a dream is just a dream, and sometimes a dream is just a dream, but other times they come with just this rich symbolism and answers and guidance so that we really can create the life of our dreams, the life that we fantasize about having. I also am passionate about really helping empaths heal and embracing their gift. And this goes for star seeds as well. They have these beautiful gifts that oftentimes come with some pain and some hurt. So I really love helping people tap into those gifts so that they can share them with the world and not feel a heavy burden. So this is Dreams Live. And the cool thing about this is you get to share a dream with me. I'll help you decode it. If you can make it here, otherwise you send me your dream. I look at it and then I will let you know what my take is on it, and then I'll give you some questions too, because dreams really are personal. They really are tailored to us individually. So I've got two really cool dreams to go over today, and if you want to send me a dream, message me, email me, whatever works for you, or you can join me live, and then that way we get to interact and you get to share with me and give me your feedback, and then we really get to that deeper meaning. So let's get started. So I've got the candle. We'll go ahead and light the candle, maybe if the lighter works. And then if you've been watching, you'll remember that I've been pulling a couple cards to really help us with this. And the first card I'm going to pull is from the Hollow Valley deck, and this deck is based on symbolism. So the creator really, investigated symbolism and the meaning behind things to really get at that multicultural meaning behind certain symbols, and that would take us into the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious, according to Jung, really is what binds us, right? Like, it's shared. And so the collective unconscious can also be influenced culturally, because different cultures have different symbolisms and different meanings for different things, as well as where you live in the world. And so take that into consideration when you're looking for the meaning behind something that's going to really bring you connecting with your culture and the world at large. So the card I pulled for today is Net. And so, you can really look at these cards and really look at, first of all, how do you feel about a net? Do you feel like that is something that captures you, or something that you use to capture what you want? So looking at it, how you feel about it. If you're like, oh, that's horrible, I don't like that card. Any kind of adversity to a card you draw, that really is an indication that your shadow is at play. And so spending a little bit more time to look at what is that adversity coming up. And so for the creator of this deck, net, entanglement, interconnectedness, so we're talking about the collective unconscious, communication, surrender, devotion. Nets ask us to fall heavily against the people that keep us safe. Net reminds us that in times of great movement or risk or sorrow, people around us will be there to catch us when or if we fall. Net reminds us to cultivate relationships that we can lean on and give back to them, to be interdependent and not codependent, to offer ourselves up as safety nets to those who will always be there for us. So thinking of a net as it's something that catches you, something that Yeah, like that. I like that part about surrender, because oftentimes when we get caught in a net, it really is asking us to surrender, to lean in to what's going on. And so, I don't know, I feel drawn today to pull from both decks. So the other deck I am using is going to be Spirit de la Lune. And this is a deck based on the moon. And so the moon really does represent our subconscious, our shadow, our femininity. The moon really is a place of dreams. And so what better deck to help us delve into the meaning of our dreams? Okay, so let's pick a card. All right, so we have Aquarius, the visionary. So if you can see that, this is the card that was pulled from this deck. And so if you're Aquarius, you can really start to think of, you know, what that means for you, you know, how that leads you into being a visionary, as well as just how that represents for you, right? So let me go ahead and give you a little bit more information on this card. So your mind is expanding and new possibilities are surfacing. Use your third eye to envision this new frontier. So a great time, like, to use dreams, right? What a great card to pull into dreams, to say, really use dreams to do this. Your goals and purpose will be impactful to more than just you, so don't be afraid to dream big. Imagine what you can do for your community. So again, remembering, you know, our dreams really can help us figure out how to do that. So moving into dreams today, so that, like I said, there's two. So the really cool thing about this is the two dreamers are actually family members, and they both on the same night dreamt of each other, but in different context. So the first dreamer dreamt that she was with her parents at a cabin in the mountains, and it's snowing, and they're there with her dog and her parents' dog. Earlier this year, her parents had lost one of their dogs. So in her dream, the dog that is passed, Hero, shows up, and he's outside. And so she's excited. Her stepdad is excited. And so her stepdad's like, oh my gosh. So her parents' other dog, Sever, was very brokenhearted after the death of Hero. He's like, oh my gosh, Sever's going to be so happy. This is wonderful. You know, and the dreamer, the daughter, was like, no, like, that's going to break her heart. Like, he's gone. Like, she's going to see him and then be really, really sad. So then the next part of the dream is Hero, Sever, and the dreamer's dog are outside playing in the snow, happily, joyously playing. So that is the daughter's dream. So then her mother dreams about her the same night, only the mother dreams that she is with her daughter, and her daughter has this Snow White dress. It's this beautiful gown, like looks like Snow White's dress, and it's very childlike but still very adult, so like an adult princess dress. And the dress is way too big for the daughter, so the daughter has wrapped the dress around herself. And so then the mom is trying to help her, and there's a strap, and the mom's like, oh my gosh, this strap is completely stretched, I can't fix this. And the daughter gets upset, and she's like, I didn't stretch it out. Why are you accusing me? And the mom's backtracking. No, 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 I'm not accusing you. I'm just letting you know I can't fix it. And so then the daughter's like, I need for you to hook this hook, which is part of the dress, to my bra. And so the mom says this hook it's square and it's very intricate and very complicated. And the mom's looking at this hook, and she's looking at her daughter's bra, and she has no idea how to make this work, and ends up telling her daughter, I don't know how to fix it. So first, the really interesting thing is both mother and daughter dream of snow. The daughter literally dreams of snow, whereas the mother dreams of Snow White. But they both dream of snow. So if they were both here, I would ask them, you know, what does snow mean to you? What does snow represent? And so since I did have a bit of conversation with each of them, I know that the daughter, she loves snow, but lately in her life, she's found snow to be something to kind of go inward, to stay inside, to take it easy. So snow, right, is really represented, okay, time for me to reel it back in, time for me to do some self-care. The mother with Snow White, I know the mother as well. And so I know for the mother, when doing shadow work, Snow White was for a while her shadow. So interesting, because her daughter loves Snow White. So another very interesting thing, that her daughter loves Snow White. So her daughter's dressing up as Snow White. And so looking at what Snow White means to the mother, right? And if we think of Snow White as well as snow, it's pure, right? It's this beautiful white, pure, sparkly element, right? And so how both, dreamt of snow, the mother for Snow White. And so looking at, I think in the daughter's dream, really there is an aspect of emotion, frozen emotion, because this dream also has a grief symbolism, a grief aspect to it, right? Because there is this dog. The dog was a member of the family for 10 plus years. So a huge loss for this family. They lose a vital member of their family. And so oftentimes when we have death dreams, those that have died will come back to us healthy, well, playful, jovial, right? Especially those that were elderly or sick, they come back to us with this youthfulness to them, and that's really showing that they are in a good place now, coming back to say, hey, I love you. I'm on the other side. I'm all good. I'm not in pain anymore. Life is really good. And to really invite these dreams, especially if you have lost somebody to death where they were really sick or they were really ill, and not remembering them in that ill state, and then really starting to remember them when they were happy and when they were healthy, because this is going to help them cross over. This is going to help them be free from the ties. We don't want to keep them kind of in this place where they're held to being sick, right? And so I love that in the daughter's dream, she dreams of the dog, and the dog actually had to be put to sleep because of cancer. And so the dog is healthy and he's happy and he's playing and he's jovial, right? And so I really, this dream, like I've talked about, dreams are multi-layered. So I really see this dream as one hero coming back to be like, hey, I am great. I love you. I'm in a good place. Another part of the dream is her looking at where she's frozen in grief, where she is cold in her grief process, right? Because snow is cold, it freezes, it kind of brings this layer of numbness to us, right? If we're outside in the cold too long, we get numb. And so for the daughter to really look at where her grief process is numb, where she's not allowing herself to experience grief, and how she can start to melt that snow and allow those grief emotions to flow through. I feel that her dreaming of her mother, her dog, and her stepdad really show that those are, and the dog that passed, and their other dog, huge emotional supports for her. And so even knowing that, since she dreamt of them, being able to know that she could turn to them to work through her grief, to process her grief, for them to even hold her in that space so that she can just grieve. And so I really find, her dream multi-leveled, right? She's dreaming about the passing on of a pet who's now in a great place, as well as she is dreaming of her own grief process and being able to really let that go. So if we look at the net card, right, surrendering, letting those she knows who can catch her to catch her. So I really think, that's beautiful for her. I think that'd be very beneficial for her. So that's my take right now. So her mom dreaming about Snow White and her daughter, we can still we can tie that grief into mom's dream as well. As parents, we grieve our children aging, right? Because it's a celebration. They're adults, they're growing, but we grieve how our relationships change. Now, not everybody does this, but it's really common and it's really normal, right? For us to grieve our children changing, right? Because they're not a baby anymore. They're not a toddler. They're not a school-age child. They're not an adolescent. They're now a young adult. And so we grieve, right? We're happy. Like we are, don't get me wrong. Like most parents are excited. They're happy. They love to watch their children grow and evolve and expand. But there's also this element of grief that like that part of the relationship is over. That part of the relationship is no more. And so the Snow White dress, right? It's childlike but adult. And so the mom trying to hold her daughter in the and or, right? As people, we really like things to be one thing or the other. We really don't like to sit in and or. We really don't like to hold opposites. And I feel like this dream is really asking the mom to hold these opposites, to be able to say, my daughter can still be my child. She can still be childlike. She can still need me. And she can still be an adult. And we can have this adult relationship. So really seeing, this as an and or, right? That her daughter can be both. She doesn't have to be a child or an adult. And so I really find, and then this dream too, where the daughter at first is kind of like, Mom, you're blaming me. And so the mom being able to see where, in that relationship, her daughter might feel that the mom blamed her, or maybe that there's some roughness, right? Because it seemed like the mom felt very innocent, like, hey, like this is stretched out, and the daughter being like, oh my God, I didn't stretch it out, and being very defensive. And so the mom really owning that that's normal, like our kids can be defensive, and taking that step back and not getting defensive back, and just kind of being like, hey, I'm just pointing out that, I noticed this. Also, that very intricate, crazy clasp, right? That the daughter asked the mom to attach to her bra, and the mom couldn't, right? Because the mom was like, I can't. I think that's a beautiful way for the mom to really look at how to be a parent, how to be supportive, how to, if she wants, to be somebody that supports her daughter in that way, but not having the answers, right? A lot of times as parents feel that they have to have the answers. They need to know. Their kids have questions. They have to have the answers. And there comes a time, right, where we don't have the answers. We don't know. And it's okay to say, I don't know. Like, I can't solve this problem. I don't know. I will be here with you, because the mom is with the daughter. The daughter's in the dress. She's putting it on, and so the mom being like, yeah. And the fact that the dress is like huge, right? And the daughter has to wrap herself in it. I really feel that that is also an indication of where the daughter is in life, right? This daughter is in her early 20s. So she's still growing, she's still learning. And hopefully she'll do this for her whole life, just like the mom is still growing and learning. So I really feel that this dream for the mom indicates that her daughter has not fully grown into who she is as a person, who she is as an adult, who she is in the world, who she is in relationships. She's still growing into this, and the daughter kind of being like, hey, Mom, you need to solve this puzzle for me. Who am I? And the mom just being like, I don't know, and being okay with being like, I don't know, and being able to be like, I can still be your mom. I can still be supportive. I don't have to put you on the defensive, and I can just be here for you. So talk about like a net, like both of these dreams really indicate how each dreamer is asking for that net, is asking, especially since the first dreamer, there is a grief component to it. And even the mother's dream, there's a grief component, and being able to be, how can we be a net for each other? Or maybe, the mom's like, okay, I'm just going to be the net for my daughter. And, maybe the daughter doesn't want to be the net for her mother. This is going to be conversations that this mother and daughter are going to have. Will you be my net? Do you want to be my net? Can you be my net? And realize, when we get these dream meanings, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to honor this dream. I'm going to bring it into the waking life, into my waking life, into the waking world. And then we take our dream message, right? We're like, okay, all right. The daughter's like, Mom, I had this dream. I realized I've got some unresolved grief. Can you be my net? That if the mom is like, I can't, that is not for the daughter to get upset. Mom is just saying she's not in a place. And if mom says she can, then also mom's seeing in her dream, right, that she's just being the net. She doesn't have to have the answer. So when her daughter brings her grief, if she decides to do that, that mom doesn't have to solve this, right? Mom doesn't have to have the answers. Mom can be like, okay, all right, I'm just going to be here for you. So both of these dreams, I really feel like are asking the dreamers to, it's bringing healing, right? On one level, major healing, you know, with the dog and he's happy. That's huge healing for the grieving heart, as well as it's asking that dreamer to go deeper into healing her heart, right? Deeper. And that's a beautiful place to be, and letting that dreamer know she has support, as well as the mom and her dream being able to look at the grief that she really hasn't processed yet with life, right? Because we have life grief, it's normal. And so I find that these are two very, very beautiful dreams, multi-layered. You know, if they were both here, then I could get some feedback from them into more of what's going on. But just based on what I know about these two dreamers, I think both of them have a solid relationship, so they would be able to come together and really process, you know, what these dreams are asking them. Also, for the daughter who dreamt of the deceased dog, you know, she can do something to honor that dog if she wants. Both mother-daughter could, you know, sit down, have a talk, you know, maybe do something together to help with the fact that they both have some grief going on, whatever they want that to look like. So two beautiful, beautiful dreams. And so I hope that when they watch this, they're able to get some really useful information to help them move forward. So again, I'm Margaret with Forward Kind Heart. This is Dreams Live, where you get to share your dreams with me and I get to help you understand them, as well as I will cover a lot of stuff relating to our dream world and how we can really honor them and understand them and be able to use them to help us to create the life that we want. Again, if you want to participate, you can send me a dream, or you can join me live, or you can watch the replay, whatever works for you. By the way, I just wanted to remind you, next week we're moving to Sunday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so I hope you can make it. I hope that that might be a better time for some people. Until then, sweet dreams. Bye.